Hi, I'm Karl Palachuk. I'm the author of Managed Services in a Month and several other books. I have built and sold two managed service businesses in Sacramento, California, and now I'm a coach and author, and I help IT consultants to be better at the business side of their business. This is the first of several videos sponsored by SureWeb, specifically designed to help you, the IT consultant or managed service provider, to be more successful in 2020. With the coronavirus and all of the economic after effects, it's going to be a very rough year. So we want to make sure that you are as successful as possible. This video is entitled Cash is King. When the folks at SureWeb asked me what we should talk about first, I was very clear. No questions asked. The first thing you need to do is get the cash flow under control. What's going to happen in this economic downturn or any economic downturn is that cash is going to disappear from businesses. First of all, it will disappear from your clients' customers, then it'll disappear from your clients. Let's make sure it doesn't disappear from your business. So here's some things that you can do. The first thing I would say is you absolutely have to go collect all the money that is owed to you. How do you do that? Well, you start absolutely today. You need to run an accounts receivable report. You're going to run two sorts on that. First, you're going to sort it from oldest to newest. Old money is the hardest to collect. What happens when money gets old is it loses its value in the client's mind. So if money is owed to you from a long, long time ago, chances are pretty good you're going to collect less than 100%. In fact, you might give 10, 20, 30, or 50% discount just to get your hands on that money. Side note, that's why I'm going to encourage you all the time to get paid in advance for everything you do so that you never have this problem again. The other sort that you want to do is from largest to smallest. Unfortunately, you have to go to some of your favorite clients who owe you the most money and have a very difficult conversation. It's not fun, but it's absolutely what you need to do as a business owner to make the most of a bad situation. With luck, nobody owes you anything more than 30 days old, and nobody owes you tens or 20s of thousands of dollars. But in the real world, there's a lot of people who need to spend a lot of time collecting money. Trust me, the single most important thing you have to do today is make sure that you have collected all the money that is owed to you. In 4 weeks or 8 weeks, it may simply be gone. No one wants to rip you off, but there are people who will lose their own money. They will lose their cash. They will not be able to pay you the money that is owed. And so even though they like you and they're good people, if they don't have the money, they can't pay you. So it's absolutely critical that you collect this money as soon as possible. How do you go about collecting money? Well, here's a few tips. First of all, I would start with an email. Basically, very simple. Talk about the amounts that are due from these invoices on these dates and summarize it. If you can, take credit cards as soon as possible. If you haven't taken credit cards before, now is a great time to start. A lot of people complain about the 2.9% fee. Well, trust me, losing 3% is way better than losing 50%. So take the credit card and collect that money as quickly as possible. If you can, get a system that allows you to send an email and have clients click on it and pay directly to your bank or to PayPal or some other service. There's lots of services out there. Go get one as quickly as possible and go get your money. After the email, you may have to follow up with a written letter and eventually with a phone call. Again, not very pleasant things to do, but you absolutely have to do it. If you ignore this or put it off, that money will simply disappear. So do the things that are hard to do, but do the things that are in the best interest of your company. The second thing I would encourage you to do is to reduce your expenses. And that's a matter of literally just spending some time, go through your credit card statements, go through your bank statements, look at your profit and loss report and see where you spend money. If you don't do it already, make sure you add a column to your profit and loss report that shows you the percentage for each of the categories. And that way you can look at anything over 1%, anything over 3%, anything over 5%, and target those for reducing costs. In the big picture, you want to make sure that you make a distinction between what's nice to have and what's necessary. Keep the necessary, cut the nice, at least for now. When the economy straightens out and everything's fat and happy, by all means, add some nice things back into your business. But for now, you need to do what it takes as a good business owner to survive. The third thing I would say is that you need to look at payroll. Whether you like it or not, payroll is the single largest expense in your company, and it could actually kill your company if you don't keep your hand on it. So there are strategies that we're going to look at in the next video on how do you manage taking care of your employees and determining whether or not you need to downsize. In the meantime, if you can, put those employees onto an hourly instead of a salaried basis. And that way you can say, hey, I need somebody to take off on Friday, or I need you to only work 35 hours next week. You can make cuts here and there without having to lay somebody off. It's a very, very difficult thing to try to lay off somebody that you consider to be one of your friends, because that's the deal with small business. We get to know our employees, we become friends, and nobody wants to lay anybody off. But sometimes you have to do the very hard stuff when you're the business owner. So, it's not easy to go through any of this, but you eventually need to move to getting paid in advance so that you don't have to worry about that cash flow the next time there's an economic downturn. Hang in there. I know it's difficult, but you can get through this. You just have to have a plan. We wish you all the best of luck in your managed service business.